Hello, this is 2 days post announcement, and this is probably going to be my last video. I did say at the beginning that I'll record pretty much every day throughout the 30-day consultation period, whilst the consultation is still ongoing, given that on Friday, a couple of days ago, we all knew our situations. Then you could say that this is certainly a big milestone in the closure process. So this is probably going to be my last video. I did have a review of all the previous videos I've done for you, and so I'm just going to summarize and conclude. Although I had been retained, I had already started the process of looking externally from 2 weeks ago. So I have an interview today with an external company, so I'm still going to pursue that to see what opportunities there are, although I have been retained. So there's no harm in actually exploring to see what's out there. So if I were to summarize the last 2 weeks or so into a few bullet points, and I'll leave you to it on your journey. And this is a journey of uncertainty towards the destination of certainty, or an outcome that you want. Okay, and if you don't get the outcome you want, then it's the destiny is opportunity. Okay, there is no such thing as failure. Right, so the most important thing throughout this process, and not just through consultation, but I think generally in life, is that one word I've kept on repeating, and that's attitude. Okay, if you have a positive, strong attitude, an open attitude, then you're going to ride the storm much easier. So how do you get up to that high level state? I suggested to look at read various motivational quotes. There are plenty of quotes out there on the internet. Do have a look at them every single day, not just during consultation. Again, this is more forever. And number two, make use of the scriptures that you would follow as part of your religion. And number three, human stories are very powerful in really giving you the perspective on life and being able to deal with the shit that you're going through, and you'll find that this is really relatively small shit compared to the big shit that people from all over the world are actually suffering, whether it's being killed in bombs or poverty, whatever. There are some serious challenges that they are facing. So be happy that we are alive to be able to handle these opportunities or these challenges that present themselves. So it's not just the attitude, it's the physical fitness that's also going to help with your mental fitness. So I started to go to the gym more often and swimming. And two and a half weeks on, I'm finding that it's really beneficial. Yes, it keeps you mentally alert, but I'm finding that I'm reducing my weight now and eating much more healthy diet, and you feel really vibrant and alert, and that's really good. So this would be a lifestyle change, not just for the consultation, but for the long haul. You understand? So physical fitness is very important, and diet. My problem was eating a lot of chocolates and carbohydrates and all these junk foods. So I've really cut that down now. And it's actually fun to eat healthy. You may not like the taste, but you can actually get used to it, and there's a variety of really good healthy food out there. I talked about, in one of my videos, I advised the guys to establish a sense of normality in your family life. So especially if you are the single earner, the main earner in the household, which would normally be men, then to have that sense of normality, because your wife, your girlfriend, they will be very worried for you, if not more than you. So they too are going through this unstable period. And don't think for a moment that, because you're going through this uncertainty, you deserve the support of your wife, your girlfriend, your family. Yes, you do, but remember, they are in a state of uncertainty as well, more so than you are. So you, as the anchor of the family, you have to keep that stability as much as you can. Now, so that's advice I gave for the guys. Now for the girls, for the women, you will go through ups and downs. There'll be a lot of emotions going around. allow yourself to go through that. But of course, you have your husband or your boyfriend or your parents, your family to really fall back on, get that support from. So and once that has happened, just try and settle down, but get up to that positive mental state as soon as possible. So the advice I gave throughout this video series is getting back to that positive mental state, and the actions you can take towards that. Also, buy a new dress, a formal dress, obviously for work dress, or a business suit. That's really going to help. So I advise the guys, get a new suit. Okay, look sharp. If you're going through an assessment or going through external interviews, that makes you feel good. Likewise, if there's one thing you're going to take away from this video, girls, is get a new dress, okay? Because that's going to make you feel better generally, but I think more so in preparation for upcoming meetings or assessments. Your attitude, how you handle yourself during this consultation is very important, leading up to that day when the announcement is made, whether you're staying or whether you're going. Okay, again, what I found out is you need to prepare yourself even more for that day. So how do I mean by preparation? Not just talk about the physical and mental stuff, but how will you react when the announcement is made? Either what you want, whether you wanted to stay or whether you wanted to go and take the redundancy. So how would you handle the situation if you get the outcome you want, number one? So just imagine you're going through a conversation with the manager who's going to make the announcement to you. So let's say you got the outcome that you wanted, whether it was to be retained or redundancy. What will you be feeling, or what would you be thinking? And just play that through your mind so that you are fully prepared to receive that particular news. But more importantly is, what would you do if you're not giving the news that you want? Okay, so suppose you wanted to leave but you're actually having to stay, or if you wanted to stay then you asked to leave. That is probably more important to really prepare for. So again, you need to run through this scenario that you've been told that you're not getting the outcome that you want. How will you handle that situation? Suppose you wanted to stay here, but you've been asked to be let go. Then all the preparation you've done to applying to external companies, getting your CVs updated, hopefully leading up to the announcement, would have helped and given you a jump start. But you need to play this conversation through in your mind, this scenario of negative, or this opportunity. It's not a negative outcome. It's an outcome you didn't want, so it means it's an opportunity for you to explore something different. Okay, so remember, there is no such thing as failure. It's an opportunity. Again, you need to play this conversation through your head so that you are fully prepared. Should that announcement come, should that news come, which you didn't, you know how you're going to handle this. Okay, so that is vitally important. It's probably going to be the most crucial part of this consultation process. And whilst the preparation can be made, you will still go through emotional ups and downs. You really will, regardless of how much preparation you've made. There may be anger as well, anger and sorrow and sadness, especially when you see, you're not going to be working with some of the people you've been working with for a long time in the team, and that can be very hard to handle. So all the more reason you need to support each other when the announcement is actually made. Now, for management, I just made one video on for management who are implementing this restructuring strategy, and you have to make the announcement to your employees of what is going to happen to them. And I explained before that the best way to really seem to be supporting your employees is from day one, when the announcement is actually made of the restructuring and the start of the consultation process, that you find someone within the upper management who's actually been through this process and has come out of it. Okay, because this period of uncertainty is going to start, and there is no magic pill. You can't tell them immediately what's going to happen, but it is actually during this period of uncertainty that you are there with them. okay, on this journey. They're not alone, and that is what's going to be really, really important. And obviously supporting them throughout the journey. Yes, there are human resources, materials that employees can make use of, but I think if you're there as well, you know, on and off throughout the process, just checking in to see how people are doing, that even though you don't have the solution at that moment in time, that will be appreciated. As the final homework for you, as part of this big team, I hope it'll be a growing team, is this: out of all the motivational quotes that I have come across, and the life coaches that whose seminars I've attended, and the books I've actually read, probably the best life story or advice I have come across is this girl called Holly Butcher. Okay, Holly, Holly Butcher. If you do a search on Facebook, Holly Butcher, she gave a life advice to everyone, and I highly recommend you actually read what she actually said. She actually died earlier this year in 2018 from cancer. She was only 27, but when you actually read what she says, then you know, you really look at things in perspective, and I'm sure you're going to be happy that the challenges you are facing is nothing compared to what she had to go through, and it'll give you more motivation to actually really face those challenges head on with a much positive attitude and with gratitude as well. I hope you've enjoyed this journey, and I suppose this journey is still ongoing for you, but I hope I've given you the ingredients and the tools to really manage yourself throughout this process. And once you've actually gone through this, and I know you'll get through this, you'll get what you want, and even if you don't, you'll have an opportunity. It may be something better. 9 times out of 10, 95% of the time, when I've asked colleagues who've been through this process, they've actually said it was a good thing that actually happened, because they went on to something much better. So good luck to you, and once you've come out of this process, then only then do write comments on what actually happened, what steps you took. I may have missed something out, so your added input will be very valuable for other team members who will be joining this video series and actually going through this video series. That would be very helpful. So write a sort of a summary of what happened, what the outcome was, and if it wasn't what you wanted, what you actually did about it, where you are now. That summary will be very useful for you. That's the type of comment I would request from you as team members. Okay, so that's it from me now, and well, until next time, keep well.